I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, welcome back. I'm glad you guys are sticking around to talk about this show with us because it is 9 p.m. over here on the West Coast, but we are super excited to dive into this episode 4, which is about Jude, the bass player in the band. But of course, I cannot be talking about this alone. So I have my great panelists here. I have Allie, who is our Damien Chazelle lover on the panel.
That's correct. Yes. Hey, guys.
And then I have Sanaa Moore, which is our music enthusiast and lover as well.
Thank you. Yes, I can't wait to talk about this with you guys.
Yes. So this episode, again, we know that every episode is diving into a new character. We're here to talk about Jude today. So we're going to touch on Jude's ex getting married. We have a little bit of Julie throwing another fit, even though we've seen her throw like 5 already. And then we're also going to talk more into this investigation, which I think is going to be a theme throughout this whole series. Like, we're just going to keep unpacking that. And then, of course, we have our special segment with Allie. So let's jump right into it with some overall thoughts of the episode. Sanaa, what did you think?
Oh my goodness. I want to really be on Julie's side of things, but she just keeps making it hard for me to really root for her. So that's just how I felt like this whole episode. I'm just like, girl, again.
Honestly, I was like, you got one more time to curse at your parents before I climb through this TV.
Yeah.
Okay? Tony back. Tony all the way back. Allie, what did you think?
I agree. I'm trying to root for Julie so hard, but she just keeps making it difficult. I was like, just go home. Go back to New York. Like, I was so done with her this episode.
Allie is over
I'm
it.
sorry. I feel so bad for Elliot, and like I couldn't even imagine going through what he's going through right now. And I know she's going through a lot too, but she's just being selfish, and I guess a 16-year-old, but oh my goodness. Yeah. Overall though, very good episode. I did like it.
We're
Julie.
definitely going to get into her a little bit later. First, we got to talk about our bass player, Jude, who at first I was a little confused as to why he was getting his own episode, but it kind of makes sense as the episode unfolds. Like, he has a lot going on. So when we first meet him in this episode, or towards the beginning, we said his ex is in town, his ex-girlfriend is in town, and she's actually getting married and asked him to go to the wedding. Now, Sanaa, tell me how willing you would be to go to your ex's wedding.
Ain't gonna happen. I don't understand, like, why? I don't know. Maybe it's just like they made a pact that, no matter what, we'll support each other and we'll always be friends after our relationship. But I know that's not a pact I could do.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I wish you the best from afar, but your wedding?
What?
I don't know if I can go to your wedding. I don't know.
Because that's you giving a blessing.
Yeah, which, I mean, props to Jude, because at first it seemed like he was handling it really well. And I was like, oh, okay, like, that's nice that y'all have this friendship or whatever it is. But like you said, Sanaa, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm built for that. But we also see that in addition to that layer that we've just learned, he also has some sort of drug use going on as well. And we kind of see him going to some sort of, like, I don't want to say clinic because it's like the opposite of that. But I think he's kind of getting some sort of, like, I don't know, like, rationed out form of drug. Allie, what did you think when you saw him going to that center for that?
Well, I guess at first I was confused as well, like, why is Jude getting an episode? But then I quickly fell in love with him and his ex. Like, I don't know, they definitely still had something there. Even Omar, her new husband, could see it. It was clear as day. It didn't make any sense that they were, one, hanging out, two, on the girl's wedding day, and that he was the only guest there and the witness. It was weird. But you could see how, like, tragic this really was for him, even though he put on a good face, and you could tell he really loved her because he wanted her to be happy, and he was doing this for her, even though I think it literally was killing him inside. And as soon as it was all over, the only option he had was to turn to drugs. And it broke my heart because you can just tell he was so in love with her. He was such a sweet guy. Like the scene where he carried his bass and like was running with it, like that looked hard. That thing has to be heavy. And he's like running through the streets of Paris to go find her. I don't know. It was just so cute. And yeah, I hurt for him. It was sad.
Yeah, for sure. And then we also see as they're talking throughout the reception and just like hanging out that entire day while her new husband is also like hanging around as if he's the third wheel. We also hear that there's more to their history and that she actually suffered from a miscarriage. So now when you heard that story, how did you feel hearing that?
I felt sad. Like,
Mhm.
I think that's almost every woman's worst fear is, not to be able to conceive or even having a miscarriage. And it's super sad. But I also think they wanted to put that in the film to, let people know that miscarriages do happen. And, sometimes it happens once or twice, and then you are able to have a child and bring awareness to that too. Because
Mhm.
once you have a child after it, it's called the rainbow baby. Yes, I think we call it the
Mhm.
rainbow baby. And so like just putting and shedding light on that, I think was very important. But I felt so sad for her because, as being a woman, that's hard.
Mhm.
You go through all these menstrual
Yeah.
cycles, all these cramps and
Ugh.
emotions and cravings, weird cravings. And you get the joy when you first hear, that you're pregnant and you take the test and you're like, oh my God. And then to know that like a life is growing into you and then, they don't make it, it's sad. And no
Yeah.
matter what, like, I don't wish that on anyone to feel that pain.
Mm-mm.
Same. And I think what was interesting is I know you saying like shedding light. I think it was really interesting the fact that she revealed that she was relieved when she found out the news and kind of admitting that to Jude. I think that was like a big step for her. And I know that like of course, like you said, like I would not wish that on my worst enemy, but also kind of taking a step back outside of just your own selfishness and realizing that they weren't ready to have a kid at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was a huge step for her to make. And also just saying like, Jude, like, listen, we weren't going to be the best of parents if that were to happen, and this is why. And I think that was a hard thing for him to kind of realize as well. Ali, what did you feel when she kind of revealed that at the dinner table?
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said. I think her revealing that, yeah, kind of like what Tori just said. Like, even though it's tragic and it's sad, I think everything does kind of happen for a reason.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that she was relieved that that happened to her was probably like the biggest wake up call you could ever have. If she wants to have children and she doesn't see that with Jude, which she didn't, then she moved on. But you could tell deep down, like I feel like she always, definitely will always love him, but I think she always wanted him to be the one. But she can't change him. Like he is who he is, and
Yeah.
I think eventually she realized that, and now she has Omar, and I could tell that they were happy too. So that made me happy. It was just sad
Yeah.
though. Like Omar just sitting there watching them dance together. I was like, oh my gosh, she's sweet. Like both of them are sweet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
And
was
it
sad.
was after she said that, after she revealed that like they weren't in the best space to have a child. Right after that, you see him in the playground, getting drugs and then going into the bathroom to do them. It was kind of like a direct like example of what she was saying. And after the club had shut down and everyone's kind of just trying to figure out what their next steps are, like that's kind of like his crutch. That's his coping mechanism. And I think it was kind of like a hard wake up call for him because it immediately happened right after they had that conversation. Like that's what he needed. So I want to kind of stay on that for a little bit because I know that we were all just kind of like, okay, why has Jude, well, like, why did he get his own episode? But I think when he was in the bathroom and the first person that he called was Elliot, I think we're kind of starting to see that all of these characters are depending on Elliot in some sort of way. And I think that bathroom scene kind of highlighted that. I mean, what did you guys think when y'all saw that? Y'all knew that Elliot was his first call.
Well, with Elliot being, I think that kind of made Elliot also feel like, wow, you really look to me into being that first person you call. Because in an emergency, the first person you call, like you really are depending on them. You're putting your all into them. So to know that he chose Elliot, like out of everyone, that was the point I was like, oh wow, like you really rocking with Mr. Elliott.
Yeah.
And even like when it comes to the drugs, that also it sheds another light onto things. You know, when tragedies happen, it's really easy for us to say like, oh, this is what we would do. But when it comes and it actually happens, like you don't know. Like Julie yelling
Mhm.
out for coke in outside. Like it's a real thing. Like people are real life addicted to drugs, and you can go down a certain path, especially when life just seems like it's just all gone, especially like to know that a half of you, like another, your other half was gonna really be born.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Allie, what did you
So
think?
I I just honestly feel for Elliot because I know we're like on the Jude topic still, but I agree with Tori. I think that this episode was crucial because it just shows us once again how dependent everyone is on Elliot and how he gives all the time. He's giving for everyone at all moments. And I think if Jude didn't go through that experience and didn't call Elliot, I don't know if he would have made the deal with the cops to go forward with opening the club again. And I think seeing Jude in such a terrible state, he knew the right thing was to obviously open up their sanctuary, their church, which is the club, and to
Mhm.
have that piece of the music again. And then at the end, they were playing, and it was just so like, oh, I don't know. I loved it. So I think if that didn't happen, I don't know if the club would be opening because he seemed
Yeah.
like he didn't want to open it, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
But okay,
We'll get
Maybe because of
into.
oh, okay, yeah.
No, go ahead. Go
I want to know.
ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say maybe because it's not the same. Like Fred is not with him. Like his partner in crime isn't with him. And it's like even though he knows like opening the club can still, be lucrative and he can make some money and be able to like have more wiggle room and stuff and showcase music, it's still like whether they were bumping heads or not, he still wants his right hand next
Mhm.
to him.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have a ghost without a Tommy, and that's literally what he
You
has.
really can't, Allie. You gotta see Power.
I know.
Okay,
I
so
really do. I really
you
do.
really do. So then you can. It's
That'll be my
literally
bench tomorrow.
yeah. It's
Yes.
literally like a classier version, I guess, or like
Really?
not as raw and
Mm-hmm.
uncut.
Right.
Definitely.
Oh,
Honestly.
I do need to
And
see it.
even though this was Jude's episode, Julie still had to find a way to come and mess stuff up. So we see
Ugh.
that her father found a
Tori.
way. She's always getting on my nerves. You know what? At first I liked her. I was giving her a chance, and then
We
every
all did. I
episode
think
she
the
was
first
showing
episode
her
we were like, she's
behind.
cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, nope. It's when she started cursing at her parents. It was a done deal for me right there.
Yeah.
But when she goes back to school, her father kind of, hints to her that he had to pull a couple strings, but he tries to tell her that he didn't really have to do too much. He just had to talk to them. Julie figures out that her mom had to give a large donation for her to stay in the school. Julie blows up. And before I even give my comments, Sanaa, what did you think about this whole blow up between her and her father?
Let me put the computer to the side. I'm getting sick of her. Just like it's everything it seems just to be about her. But like I said before in episode recap 1 and 2 and 3, she really wants love. And she doesn't have the best relationship with her mom. And
Mm-hmm.
she got the stuff going on with her stepdaddy, and then her biological father is in a whole different country, a whole different continent at that. Like he has to go in the ocean to go see her dad. So it's just she's not as close. So it's like she doesn't have that structure and that love that she really is yearning for. I think it's a cry for like attention and help. Like she wants to
Mm-hmm.
be loved, and that's the part that makes me feel bad for her at this point. Like we're halfway through the show, and I just feel bad for her, but at the same time, I wish she could really see how much Elliot advocates for her. I don't think she really realizes it. And
Mm-hmm.
dang, your daddy want to be happy too.
I
Okay?
know.
Like he just wants love. Like you said, Allie, he's always being pushed in so many directions, and he just wants to win. He wants everybody to win ultimately. And then he has the cops down his back. I mean, it's just a lot going on. And he just wants a little love. That's all.
Yes.
Stressing that man out. Allie, what did you think about this argument?
I know. I'm getting heated too just talking about it. Like, it's late now. Earlier, I would maybe have been like, oh, Julie, I get it. Like, you're fragile and you're broken. And now I'm just mad at her. Like, you want to be loved? Girl, go to school. Like, just do something that your parents ask of you. Be nice. Like, just try. Like, she hasn't tried. And I think things will come out later and we'll get to know her better. And, I'm sure we'll end up loving her. Right now, I'm very, very, very much on Elliot's side, and she's difficult. Like, I don't know. That's all I have to say about that.
Honestly,
I'm disappointed.
Allie just wants her to go to school. If you just go to school,
honestly,
like,
that really
it's so simple.
Like, that is really not a large request of a parent to make of a 16-year-old. And she was, y'all, I was like, you know what? This little child is going to drive me insane. Because here she is arguing, talking about, I'm 16, like I'm not built for school, ma'am, you are 16. Does anybody really have a choice? Like, doesn't truancy come like looking after you if you're not in school? Like, why do you think you have a say so to just roam the streets at 16 and not go to school? Like, what are you talking about? And even though, like, I guess I understood her frustration with, like, not wanting her mom to just throw her money around. But I'm just like, girl, what do you want? Like, you was just talking about how your dad was broke. Now your mom that helped you stay in school.
Ridiculous.
Now that's the problem. Your mom could have told you behind to come back on home. Then you would have been mad then. But you mad you got to stay. You don't want to leave. You don't want to be in school. You don't want to stay there. What do you want?
What do you want? What is your dream?
I just don't, like, my thing is, like, yes, you are. Yes, you have a right to advocate, like, how you feel, and, like, yes, great, whatever. But, ma'am, you don't even know what you want. But then you're mad at your dad because he doesn't know what you want.
Right.
Like, how is he supposed to know what you want to do when every other day it is something else? And I think that, like, she is just on this high horse, and that's why Sims just be like, could you please just keep your 50 feet away from me, because you got a lot going on, but you still, like, there's so much going on, but it's all existing in her bubble. Mm-hmm. Like, her own bubble is cluttered, but it doesn't go beyond that. Like, she can't ever see beyond herself. I think the funeral was maybe she got a glimpse of seeing that life is still happening, even though you're sitting here being dramatic and asking for cocaine in the middle of the night. But it just doesn't go further than that. And I'm just like, girl, what do you want? Because you're going to be mad when your daddy tells you to go back to New York.
What do you want?
She's going to be upset when she has to go back to New York. She is.
She needs a therapist. She needs so much. But she needs school, because that would at least teach her some discipline. Like, I don't know. I don't know. She needs discipline. Really and Elliot's too nice.
Allie loves school. My girl
loves
school.
I know, but, like, it's just what you do. And, like, she's like, her parents are literally letting her go to a great school to get a great education, and her mother is paying for it. And I guess I get that she was upset by it. I don't know. She's not on my good list right now. Yeah, I'm like, you're just being ungrateful.
I didn't understand that when she was upset that her mom was, like, helping Elliot, pay for the school. I don't see what the problem is, because if you don't like that school, choose another one. Like, literally tell your mom, like, I don't want this school. I want to go to this school. Like, come up with a solution.
She needs to go to a public school.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like,
something
a public
cheaper.
School. Yeah.
If you're going to be missing school, don't do it on my dime. Go to public school.
And I'm a product of public school. I'm a product of public school. And baby, we turned out great.
We're thriving.
Yes.
It's just like, not on my dime. Not on my dime. Find somebody else's dime to do it on. And I just felt like you said, Allie, at 16, like, you just don't have that choice. Now, if she was like, college might not be for me, then we can have a conversation. But you don't get to decide whether high school is for you or not. Like, No,
Exactly.
like, do you want your father to go to jail for like negligence? Could you please just go to school? He has enough on his plate. And I just hate, like, everybody sees Elliot stressed and don't nobody ever ask how Elliot is
I
doing. And
know.
that is not fair.
I
It's
know.
not, yeah. And going back to the colleges, and for me, if the semester or the year is paid for, best believe it is for you if it's
Hello?
paid for. And that's how I feel, with
I
this.
agree.
Like, who is paying for high school tuition? It can be very expensive. And the fact that they're doing it for you, and it's people who would love to go to that school and get that education is bad. And like I said before, you are going to have to finish school at some point in your life because that's just how society is. That's just how
Mhm.
America is. If without school, it makes it just 10 to 20 times harder,
Yeah,
just to maneuver. You can still do it, but it's just making it harder on yourself for no reason. And like my girl
honestly.
Allie says, go to school because it's
Yeah.
just not making sense. And her going off on Elliot is not fair. I think he's trying the best he can. And this
One day
just
she'll
proves,
thank him. Like she
I
doesn't
think
Oh,
see
so
please
how
too.
much
do.
they
Yeah.
love her. If they didn't love you, they would not care then. But they actually care and they want you to go to school and one day she'll be thanking them for
And
her mom
honestly,
and her dad.
usually, like I said,
Maybe.
I'm all for advocating how you feel. Like, I get it. But I think Julie is like lacking in taking accountability for anything that ever happens. Like, it's never I'm sorry. Like, even when her dad was just came from the police station that morning and she was like, I tried to call you, ma'am, how about I apologize for being out all night and worrying you half to death? Like, how about we start there? Like, I just feel like she's never taking accountability for what she did. Like, the reason why your mom had to pay for your school is because you got kicked out of the school for missing school. Let's start there. Like, this could have been avoided if you just took your behind to class. Like, nobody told you had to join the extracurricular. You
Yeah.
didn't have to stay. You didn't have to do
You don't
too
have to
much.
try
All
out
you
for
had to do was
cheerleading. You're
go.
fine.
A mess. I'm just kind of like, girls, a lot of these situations that you find yourself unhappy in is things that you started. So that's already rubbing me the wrong way because you could have avoided all of this if you just minded your business, but you don't know how to do that. Anywho, now that's Elliot. I just feel so bad because he is just so stressed.
No.
On top of all of these things, on top of pulling Jude out the restroom, having an argument with Julie, now he has to worry. He has to continue to worry about the police and this like fraud guy that is following him every time he steps outside. And this is a mess. What do you now that we are on episode 4? What do you guys think about this investigation? Allie, what do you think is going on?
Um, I was so relieved when Bad Cop, I don't know, we basically outed her last episode for being bad, but this episode she kind of proved herself a little bit, I guess, because what was it? His fingerprints weren't found on Fareed's body. I was like, yes. So now we know he can't really get framed, at least for that.
Mm-hmm.
And now the cop is finally, cooperating with him and they made out a little agreement, a little deal. I don't even know why he had to sleep on it. But then when you said the thing about Fareed being dead and maybe he didn't want to continue business without Fareed, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But also, the cops weren't they basically saying we'll take care of like all of this for you if you just put was that what they said?
I
Because I'm like,
mean, that's what they said, but that's not that's what they said. But when you are, involved with dirty business, the cops being around your club 24/7 when there's literally people out here tracking you, following you and killed your business partner, I don't really know if that's the best thing to do. And I think that's why he slept on it because it's like, yes, would it be great to just like have this surveillance and have them find whoever, killed Fareed? That would be great. But now he's kind of like tied in it to where they're threatening him and his daughter. And I think he's just trying to figure out like what's best for everyone because this guy is down my throat. He obviously knows where I'm at every time I walk out of my door. And if they catch him or someone connected to him, it's not going to be pretty for anybody involved. So now, what was your thinking
I'm
when he
stressed
was
again.
offered
Yeah.
that deal?
Yeah, I agree with Allie on this one too, and you too, Tori. Like, I feel that it was kind of like, okay, you're trying to say sorry, but you're not really saying sorry all the way. Like we're trying to say, okay, we'll take care of this and everything. No, I think Miss Bad Cop, she needs to give an apology. A matter of fact, since you wanted to
True.
play with me and taking me through all this stuff, you didn't even find my fingerprints, girl. And that's the part that I think she felt the saltiest on, because you were trying to prove this imaginary theory that you think works. Like, okay, another case had it, and then now you think it's me, like because it was similar. No, and she needs to give him money. I think she needs to give him some money for distress. I think that'll
I
solve some of his
agree.
problems.
Yes.
He could
Yes. I like
upgrade
that.
different stuff in his club. Like give him a nice, 50 to 100,000. I don't know how much that is in euros, but she needs to give him some type of compensation for it, because you stress
For
this
all his
man out.
troubles. Yeah.
I agree. I think he should be paid like all the money that he lost from his bar being closed, however many days it was
Right.
closed.
True.
Like you need to buy
Like a
the bar
stimulus
out for
check.
all those days.
Right.
Honestly, it was
That
just
we
like,
still haven't gotten.
Yes.
where's my inconvenience fee? Because
Same.
I didn't spend the
Same.
night in jail. You didn't put me in a police car in front of the streets, and they be talking, so then they think I'm a rat. You didn't, my daughter all out on the street. You ain't even go look for her, and I ain't gonna let that go because they didn't search not a street light for that girl. They didn't put my man through it. They had put Elliot through it, and he did not deserve this. He did not deserve this.
He didn't.
And now everybody is depending on him to make something shake. And I'm just like, this also, y'all, this money, this counterfeit money that's like what, $100,000 that is just missing and nobody knows where it's at. That already threw a monkey wrench. Do you guys think that Elliot is gonna find it and be able to give it back? So now what do you think?
Man, I don't know. I really don't know on this one. Because I feel like if he finds it, man, it's not just that simple. Like, oh, if he finds it, I don't think it's gonna be, and that's something we can wait on in the next episode. I don't think it's just gonna be a simple like, oh, you find it. Like, I think there's going to be a string attached to it.
Oh yeah.
If he finds it, like it's like, oh, okay, you found it, but it's gonna be some type of repercussion. I hope they don't jump him because he can't take no more beat.
No, I
He
know.
really can't. And I think we've seen that it's always something with this guy. Like he wanted him to not tell him that it was him that killed him. Okay. Then it was, I need you to find this money. Then it was, I was like, okay, well, we are clearly, it's a never ending thing with you. And I just need you to pack your stuff and go. Because Elliot, like, I don't know how many times Elliot can tell people that he does not know anything. Like every time somebody's like, find my money, find this, who killed, he's just like, I don't know. I was not there. I don't know. And so like,
It's so sad.
He's just so stressed because you can tell, like, when people are demanding these things, he doesn't even know where to look. Like, he doesn't even know where to start to find this counterfeit money. He doesn't know. He only has a small idea of who killed Fareed because people are following him. But without that, he wouldn't know either. Like,
yeah,
he didn't. When the people came in to jump him on episode 1, he was like, "We closed." Like, he didn't. He thought they was regular customers. Poor thing.
Oh my gosh.
All we know is that they were the Serbians. Like, that's all, because that's just the subtitle said was Serbian.
Yeah.
So that's all we know. Like, that's all he knows. It's just like they were Serbians. Other than that, what does you want him to do? I'm just over it. I'm just so over everybody. I'm tired of the attitudes. I'm tired of the blaming. I'm just tired of all of it. Just let this Elliot, if I was, wealthy, I'd let you have, a vacation to the islands or something. Because this is too much. It's stressing him out.
He needs a break.
It is, but something that I guess is positively going on with Elliot is this whole him and Maya thing. They've kind of rekindled their flame. And I know you guys already have some thoughts about that. So Allie, tell me what your thoughts are.
I was so happy to see it when they woke up together. I was like, yes. But then he woke up, he's like, what are you doing here? Like, I have no recollection of this. And then he was trying to hide her from Julie. So I don't know if it actually made him happy that she was there. I think deep down he likes her. Obviously, he called her when he was drunk and didn't even remember her coming over. But I think right now he has so much going on that he doesn't need that thrown in. Even though I wish he would just like let it happen because she's awesome. Like she's so cool and calm and like empathetic towards everyone so far in this show. And I'm like, yo, just let her like just take her in. Like y'all can be, I don't know. I feel like she makes everything better.
So now, what do you think
Yeah.
about this budding relationship?
It's interesting, and I know Julie isn't having it, but she's definitely not having it. I don't know why, but she's just not. I think, Elliot just he needs that, that girl on his side that's gonna, really ride for him. And I feel like she, she wants some love too. I just wish he would just let it flow. Okay. Just take it in, let it flow. Even if you guys don't want to be in a relationship, totally just let it flow, Elliot. This is as good as it's going to get right now.
Yeah.
Because
it's the best thing he has
Yeah.
going on.
Is going down. I think he needs that companionship too. And she's cool. She's cute. She knows how to dress. She does
talented.
hair.
Right.
Talented. I mean, like she brings a lot to the table. So, and I think he just needs that somebody too who can, bring things to perspective for him. Because sometimes your lover can really, help you see things clearer and can really help you with it. So I'm hoping for them. I'm actually rooting more for them than I am maybe for Julie.
Yeah, I'm over that.
Yeah. We're all
I'm
like,
all
Julie,
the
go to
way
New
over
York right now. You need a break.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little on the fence with Maya and Elliot just because, like, their last conversation, I guess, that they talked about whatever history they had, you can definitely tell that, like, Maya was still hurt from whatever was going on. Like, in episode 1, the hurt was definitely still there. Like, she barely even wanted to perform with him in the audience. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, it seems like Elliot doesn't really know, honestly, up from down at this point, and I just don't want her to, like, put herself in that situation to where she's going to get hurt again. Because, like you said, Allie, I mean, he woke up the next day and didn't even remember that she was there. And I can see how, like, that could have hurt her feelings, especially if she kind of read too deep into whatever happened the night before. So I'm just kind of like, girl, let's not reopen this wound that's not even fully, healed. We can prevent this. But I don't know. I mean, this series has always given us more stuff to work with. But nonetheless, we also have a special segment with Allie, so let's get into that.
Okay, so Moonlight moment. What part of the show for you guys really was the turning point? What like characters do you feel like had the biggest change, or what moment stuck out the most do you think is going to be the most significant for the coming episodes?
Ooh, definitely this development with Elliot and Maya. I think there's going to be more going in the direction of love for them. I think he's definitely going to realize what she brings to the table and, her value as well. I think he's really going to end up seeing that. I just really hope he doesn't prove me wrong and treats her like Julie treats him. So I just hope that doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't run in the family.
Oh no.
I know I'm
bringing all the Lifetime vibes. I'm bringing all the Lifetime Tyler Perry.
Feel Lifetime. I love it.
Yeah, Tyler Perry and Lifetime put together.
Yes.
We're still in like jaw-dropping moments, right? Because
especially
like, what is going on? At first, I was actually kind of shocked. I don't know why I was shocked that Jude was addicted to drugs in any type of way. I don't know why I was surprised, but for some reason I was. And then also, I was just mad that Julie threw this whole tantrum because I honestly thought she was going to give a different reaction. Like, I thought she was going to be like, okay, like, you guys see that I don't want to go back to New York, so y'all found a way to, like, help me stay, and you didn't throw it back in my face. Like, they didn't kind of make her feel bad that they were using money. Like, she found out a different way. So when she came back and she started throwing stuff, I was like, girl, I thought this was what you wanted. do you want to go back or not? Like, which one is it? But I think that was definitely a jaw-dropping moment for me. But
Yeah.
honestly, Julie, sometimes I'm not surprised by her behavior anymore because she's just
Right.
always going off the deep end.
Right. You're like shocked, but not really because we've seen it before. But I think that was also my moment. I just think with Julie, there's so much there. But I think with Maya and Elliot too. When is the Maya episode? Because I'm just
I
ready to
think it's
explore
coming up. It
her.
might
Yeah.
be, it's either next or the
7.
one after the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I hope it's soon because I'm just really eager to see their dynamic. I think
Hmm.
Julie, we've gone there. I feel like we've kind of seen most everything we need to know about her, and she's just an angsty teen, and she's got some issues. But the way that she got so angry like that, like how she was just throwing things and just absolutely blowing up. I don't know. I feel like Elliot and Julie had a huge turning point this episode. I mean, she's not even living at home now. She's staying with Maya. So I think that was a huge thing. And I think their relationship might I don't know where their relationship is going now. Even though I thought also during the funeral and everything, I thought it was finally like maybe coming together.
Yeah, I
No?
definitely kind of got that energy too. I was like, oh,
I
okay, like
know.
Julie is filling Maya out. They becoming friends, and then Maya will start dating Elliot again, and this will be it, one crazy looking family. But nope, we didn't get that. We did not get that. So before we wrap up, do you guys have any predictions on what's going to happen next?
I'm gonna throw something positive out there. I
Okay.
think that Julie is going to change her perspective, and I think her attitude is all going to change. I think her attitude is going to change, and she's going to want to play at her dad's club or like really perform to
Yeah.
like show how much she really does love and appreciate him. So I'm gonna throw that out for you, Julie.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Allie, okay, what's your take?
I kind of want to stem off of that now that that idea is like in my head. I think Sim, every time we see moments of him, like I don't know why, but I'm rooting for him so hard. And he's shown just such like character throughout this whole
Mhm.
show. I think he's going to end up having some special bonding moment or something with Julie, and I think he's gonna wake her up. Like he already kind of has. He's not even talking to her because he's like, "You're crazy." I think she's eventually going to wake up. She's gonna listen to him. They're gonna have some deep conversation. Maybe start developing feelings for each other, and then hopefully that'll kind of guide her to realize everything she's done wrong and she can start playing again and fixing her relationship with her dad and go to school. All that.
She gotta throw that go to school. Allie wants you to go.
Right.
Kids, if you're watching this, just know
Yes.
Allie says stay in
Go to
school.
school. Yes. I think
That's
I don't
hilarious.
know.
I know.
We kind of keep seeing these like bits and pieces of like this French rap thing. Like they keep sprinkling
I
it
love
in there.
it.
So maybe like
Allie.
Sim will have like maybe Sim will have like a little feature at the
Yes,
club
that was
and
so
do
cute
his
when
like
he did
French
that.
rap.
Did you guys not think so? I thought that was so cute when he did that.
No, but they keep throwing it in there, so I feel like we're gonna see it, and maybe it'll be a way to like help the club because it'll bridge kind of like older audiences and new audiences. I don't know. I think that I don't know because this club seems like it's never gonna open back up, to be honest. But I think that's kind of what's going to happen. But yes, as we wrap up this episode, please, please, please tell them where they can find you on social media. Allie, where can they follow you?
Yes, you can follow me at Alexandra Janes on Instagram and Twitter.
And Sanaa, where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram. I am _SANA_ and on Twitter as well as I am _SANA.
And you guys can find me on Instagram at Toxic Model or on Twitter at Tori with 2 E's. Again, like I said, just click around this YouTube and you will see our faces on several other panels. Click around if you have a favorite show. somebody on AfterBuzz is talking about it, I'm sure. Leave us some comments down below. We definitely want to hear your thoughts on the series. We're having this conversation with you. We're watching it with you. So we definitely want you in the conversation. We want your comments. We want your opinions. We're here again on Sunday talking about this show. So if you are tuned in like we are, definitely join us on Sunday to hear our thoughts. We can see your thoughts and we can put all our thoughts together and have a big little happy family. And until then, we will buzz you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check